Good afternoon. Please rise for the singing of our national anthem. Now please join us in singing our alma mater. Two down, one to go. Please join us to salute the U.S. flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated.
Mr. Chakey began his teaching career with Pittsburgh Public Schools in 2000 as a teacher at Knoxville Middle School. After teaching for 6 years, Mr. Chakey spent some time outside of the district as an assistant principal and principal. In 2008, Mr. Chakey returned to Pittsburgh Public Schools as principal of Oliver High School. When we walked into the halls of Carrick, Mr. Chakey was there to welcome us in his first year as principal of Carrick High School. Over the past year, he has helped to guide us through our high school experience and continue our tradition of excellence at Carrick High School. Please welcome Mr. Chakey.
Good afternoon. I'm honored to stand before you today and welcome you to the 2013 commencement ceremony for Pittsburgh Carrick High School. I would like to begin by welcoming parents. Thank you for walking with your child through their educational journey. It is because of your support and guidance that we are here today celebrating this momentous achievement. We are so grateful for the partnership that we have experienced with you to support the success of your child. Like you, we are extremely excited to have them as representatives of Carrick High School. We are also joined today by two individuals that have been instrumental in shaping the success and tradition of excellence at Carrick High School. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Barbara Rudiak, Interim Chief of Student Services, and Jean Fink, School Board Member. And now to our students. Thank you for making Carrick High School the best high school in the city. The entire Carrick High School community appreciates your efforts in continuing the great tradition of excellence at Carrick High School. May you always remember the life lessons learned at Carrick High School, and we know that you will forever uphold that Raider pride and pursuit of excellence. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chakey. Will Melanie Tice and Mrs. Fink please join me at the podium? Mrs. Fink is a proud mother and grandmother of 7 Carrick High School graduates. Mrs. Fink was first elected to the Board of Education in 1976. Served as its president for a time, and has given the Pittsburgh Public Schools over 30 years of service. This year, Mrs. Fink will retire from the Board of Education. We would like to give thanks to her on behalf of all the schools, students, families, teachers, and communities that she has represented and served. Thank you, Mrs. Fink. We will miss you and know that you will always be an important part of the Carrick community. Melanie, will you please present this thank you gift to your grandmother? Will you please give a warm welcome to Mrs. Fink?
I bring you greetings and congratulations on behalf of the Board of Education. We're very proud of what you have achieved. You're here today to continue your journey, and your journey will be one of education, of love, and just a great future. And my journey continues too. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Fink. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Danielle Hall, one of our class salutatorians. As a member of National Honor Society, Danielle has helped with the induction of new members. Danielle was a member of the volleyball team for 4 years and was a captain her senior year. Danielle's voice could be heard on the morning announcements during her 11th and 12th grade. Danielle is also Promise Ready. When she attends Duquesne University in the fall, she will be majoring in broadcast journalism. Please welcome salutatorian Danielle Hall.
Good afternoon. I would like to welcome Dr. Rudiak, Mrs. Fink, Principal Mr. Chakey, Vice Principal Mrs. Turnbull, parents, family, staff in the class of 2013. A wise man once said, "The man who graduates today and stops learning tomorrow is uneducated the day after." High school is a very crucial milestone in everyone's life. It teaches us lifelong lessons in which we shall never dissever from. Personally, my journey through high school taught me to appreciate what I had while I had it. It seems like 4 years went by so quickly. As ninth graders, our priorities consisted of walking up and down Brownsville Road with our friends with no set destination. We went to school focused on what to wear, our new friends, who we'll see at the Carrick versus Berkshire rival games, and shopping for our first homecoming dress. Oh, and we focused on schoolwork, of course. I also learned to appreciate the time I had being carefree. Senior year made me realize every day was a puzzle piece, and that everything I did was shaping my future. And like a puzzle, when trying to complete it, you start to group pieces that are similar, saving them for when you reach that point. I started doing that my senior year. I started separating certain aspects because I learned that everything had a time and place. If you try to put a puzzle piece in the wrong place, you can cause more confusion. And trust me, senior year needs no more confusion. Who knew just applying for colleges would be so stressful? First, you have to take your SATs, and now I know why they call them SATs, because I literally sat for 6 hours bubbling in answers. Then you have to apply for colleges you want to attend and apply for grants and scholarships. And on top of that, they all have deadlines, and we know how seniors handle deadlines. As soon as you fancy that it's all over, you then have to fill out your FAFSA financial aid papers, apply for the Pittsburgh Promise, and a lot of strenuous, time-consuming papers. Not to mention that senior year has expenses of its own, such as prom and cap and gown. I can truly say that I'm glad that part of the puzzle is complete. We've walked that journey. I want to personally thank my parents for always being there for me. I learned that the 1 or 2 mistakes I've made along the way could have been prevented if I just listened to them. Take heed that any obstacle you're facing, they've been there before and can direct you in the right way to overcome any roadblocks that may try to seize you. But as teenagers, we always take shortcuts that only make things harder for us in the long run. It's almost like we're in such a rush to go forward to only want to go back when we get there. So I've learned to appreciate the adults in my life. It saddens me that I can no longer walk down the hall and tell Ms. Ralston all my problems and worries of the day. It's always very bothersome that I realize that I can no longer go to Mr. Schlimmer if I need help with an essay or hear one of his jokes. I could go on, but for time's sake, I'd like to thank each and every one of the Carrick staff for being such a blessing in my life. In conclusion, I hope to see all of you move on to fulfill your life expectations. Set a high standard for yourself and never lower it. Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "Do not go where the path may lead. Instead, go where there's no path and leave a trail." I urge you all to be leaders. I also urge you to cherish every moment you have, because before you know it, another 4 years will go by in an instant. Class of 2013, we finally made it. Some of our puzzle is complete. Our journey, however, doesn't end here. Our journey continues.
Thank you, Danielle. It is my pleasure to introduce to you our other class salutatorian, Hannah Tajidin. Hannah is a member of the National Honor Society and was named Finance Student of the Year. While attending Carrick, Hannah also was captain of the girls' volleyball team. Hannah was member of both homecoming and prom court. Hannah is promise ready, and Hannah was accepted to numerous universities with full scholarships, but has decided to attend Carlow University in the fall. Hannah will double major in forensic accounting and business management. Please join me in welcoming salutatorian Hannah Tajden.
Fellow classmates, I would like to say congratulations to the class of 2013. I know that being here today may seem surreal for most of us because graduation is all we've ever thought about since day one. Beginning of high school career, we all knew that it wasn't going to be a walk in the park. Throughout our journey, we all overcame some overwhelming struggles. Some lost people who meant the world to them. Others experienced failure that drained every ounce of optimism from them. A few experienced broken hearts, forcing them to vow to never love again, or were betrayed by people who we thought were our friends. However, throughout this adventure, we made new friendships that could last a lifetime, took on new tasks that we thought were impossible to perform. But most importantly, we've taken the road to self-discovery, opening up new roads, leading us to our future. The struggles to reach our goals seem never-ending and seem harder with every step that we take. But these struggles are what define our journey and a journey in general. You can't expect everything to be handed to you without any effort. If you truly want something, you work for it and you work hard. On your quest to complete your goals, you'll come across certain hindrances that will push you back from completing your expedition. But those hindrances become motivators that keep your mindset focused on your goals and help you stay persistent down the road. Besides, if everything is handed to you with no effort or work, what was the whole point of the journey? I remember one day when I was in English class, I read the poem, The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. This poem made an impression on me. I didn't know why, but after reading this poem, I know. Frost wrote, "Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the road less traveled by, and that has made all the difference." Robert Frost talks about choosing the path that works for you, perhaps maybe even something new. Everyone isn't going to be on the same path as you because we all have different goals to reach. We are at the end of high school, and some will continue their journey to college, trade school, military, or the workplace. Others may try to throw you off your path to fit their needs. Some will tell you what they think is right and what path you must take. However, as we enter adulthood and wave goodbye to our adolescent years, we must tell ourselves that this is our journey. On this journey, you must do what you think and believe is right. Success is a place that we desire to reach, and we will take different paths to reach it. You can't let others tell you what path to take and what your future will consist of, because when things get rough, they're not the ones who are going to help you when things go wrong, and they're not the ones to suffer the consequences that you will accept when making those choices. If you let others dictate and tell you what to do with your future, then whose journey is it really? You have learned a lot more about yourself when being pushed against the wall and facing the inevitable. Some of your previous goals were probably not the ones that you thought you wanted to pursue. And when learning about yourself, you took a detour to something greater and better for yourself. You met new people who not only ended up being your friends, but your greatest supporters throughout this adventure. Also, you took the road of maturity and opened up new paths for the future by learning about yourself. In retrospect, I'm happy with the path I've chosen, and I hope you're all happy with the path you've chosen for yourself, to better yourself and your future. We took the road less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. So, today, when you walk across this stage, we're the biggest smile you have. Today is your day, and no one could take that away from you. Okay. When you receive your diploma, take a moment to relish on your success. Thank your family and friends who supported you, and smile big to those who believed you wouldn't make it. This isn't the end of our journey, ladies and gentlemen. This is just a rest stop on our expedition to the better future. Thank you to the Carrick faculty and staff for everything they've done. Thank you to my family and friends who stood by me since day one. And congratulations to the class of 2013. And I wish you all a wonderful, wonderful journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Hannah. It is my pleasure to introduce to you our 2013 class valedictorian, Leanne Streshenkoff. Leanne has competed around the Pittsburgh area on independent color guard and majorette teams since the 7th grade. Leanne has also participated in numerous chemistry and English Olympics since the 8th grade. Leanne has attained the distinguished level in her Spanish class and oral proficiency and would like to thank her fantastic teacher, Senora Crano, for all her success. Leanne is Pittsburgh Promise ready and will attend Allegheny College in the fall as a pre-veterinary chemistry major. Please join me in welcoming our Pittsburgh Carrick High School class of 2013 valedictorian, Leanne Streshenkoff.
Thank you, Tristan. I would like to dedicate my speech today to my family, and in particular, my father, who has gotten out of the hospital special just to see me graduate. Welcome, everyone, to this momentous occasion. We stand in front of you at a major turning point in our lives. Today is a celebration and also a way of saying thanks. We would not be here on this afternoon without the love from our families and the help from the supporting faculty of Carrick High School. So, be your name Bucksbaum or Bixby or Bray or Mordecai Alley Van Allen O'Shea, or anyone and everyone sitting in front of me wearing a cap and gown. You're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. These inspirational words, and a few of mine, come from Dr. Seuss's Oh, the Places You'll Go. And class of 2013, I believe we've got many wonderful and exciting places to go. Our lives are journeys, and each of us will encounter different obstacles and successes. We're snowflakes. Our lives all differ in wonderful and beautifully unique ways. Close your eyes for a moment. No, really. You won't look silly if everybody does it. Try to think of a time in the past when you were most happy, when joy simply radiated from your whole self. I quoted Dr. Seuss because one of my favorite memories as a little girl was my dad reading me his books. Now, open your eyes and look around. Look at your classmates. Look behind you to your families. And look inside yourself. Remember every detail of today, because today is going to be one of those magnificently special moments in each of your lives. We collect these memories, each one of us, these stories of ours. Every memory, good, bad, or bittersweet, becomes categorized like a page in a book. Today, class, we are adding a huge page to our books. Today is the day we move from one chapter to the next and we begin to write our own stories. Well, where do we go from here? I can't answer that because everybody is the author of his own life story. But I can tell each and every classmate here something. We did it. This is graduation, and we have made it. We've conquered the homework, the textbooks, the tests, and ultimately, Carrick High School. I guarantee that each person looking at me has hit obstacles in high school. Maybe bad grades or bad choices, maybe money problems or parents that have separated. Even loss, such as the death of a loved one or the end of old friendships. All of these stresses put weight on us, and through all of it, we have gotten here to this day. So, class of 2013, be very, very proud of yourselves and take a minute to smile. The journey will go on from here. This day is merely a pause to reflect and think. We can now choose to go anywhere in life, and this is such a beautiful venture. Whether someone decides to become a hairdresser or join the Army or study law at Harvard, he is taking the next step, writing the next page in his book. No matter where we go, class of 2013, I know we will all succeed in doing what brings us happiness and fulfillment. As we gather this afternoon to celebrate such a grand occasion, remember why we have gotten here and think of where we will go. The possibilities for us today are limitless. Be your name Paige Gazarowski, Zach Schmidt, Nick Rump, Paul Demmel, Alyssa Rodenbaugh, Manish Kanal, Gregory Hamilton, Anastasia Schneider, or Lauren Wade, or any other person seated here, and I would list all of you if I could. You are going to go very great places. Today is thrilling. Today is scary. Today, class of 2013, is our day. Thank you.
It is a privilege to acknowledge the Chief of Student Support Services, Dr. Barbara Rudiak. Dr. Rudiak has been employed with the Pittsburgh Public Schools since 1974. She taught English, reading, and mathematics at the middle school level for 14 years. In 1988, she became a supervisor in the school improvement program. She was a building level administrator for 15 years, 2 years as the assistant principal at Martin Luther King Elementary School, and 13 years as the principal at Phillips Elementary School, where my twin brother and I attended. Under her leadership, Phillips had a river-based special emphasis, transitioned into a Spanish magnet, and became a professional development school with the University of Pittsburgh. In 2006, Dr. Rudiak became the executive director, and in November 2008 through 2012 was deemed assistant superintendent for K-5 schools. Receiving numerous awards for her commitment to education, Dr. Rudiak was named Pennsylvania's National Distinguished Principal in 2003. Dr. Rudiak won the Secretary's Award of Educational Excellence in 2005 from Dr. Francis Barnes, Pennsylvania's Secretary of Education, and also the Women of Achievement Award in 2007 from Celebrate and Share. This year, Dr. Rudiak was named the Chief of Student Support Services. On a personal note, however, my twin brother RJ and I would like to thank her for setting our foundation as she established at our 5th grade promotion. Isn't it ironic that the year we graduated from Phillips, she also moved onward to the district administration, and now here we are graduating from high school, and she's retiring from the district. Looks like we both had our fill of the Pittsburgh Public Schools. Dr. Rudiak has obtained many prestigious certificates for her accomplishments. However, not all of her impact is rightfully acknowledged. At Phillips Elementary, there was a program called the Phantom Awards, which accredited students following one of the 4 Ps: present, prompt, prepared, or polite. I would like to present this Phantom Award to Dr. Rudiak for being such a positive influence on students district-wide. In all seriousness, however, we wish you all the luck and good health in the future. And with further ado, I am more than honored to present to you Dr. Barbara Rudiak.
And it actually is one of the Phantom Awards from Phillips. Thank you, Lindsay. This year and every year, each secondary school principal was requested by the superintendent to nominate one member of the graduating class for the Superintendent's Excellence for All Achievement Award. Principals were requested to nominate students who should be recognized as outstanding members of their classes who had already received some special honor. The superintendent recognizes that it's impossible to honor every student whose achievement is outstanding, but in recognizing the one student nominated, it is possible to salute the outstanding achievement of an individual student who is representative of the total achievement of the class. In the absence of the superintendent, who is unable to be present at all of the commencement programs this weekend, it is my pleasure this afternoon to present the Superintendent's Excellence for All Achievement Award to the student who was nominated for that honor by Mr. Chakey. The student so honored at Pittsburgh Carrick High School is Rebecca Comer.
I would like to say thank you to my family and my classmates. It's been amazing. Thanks, guys.
Rebecca. It's my fault.
Thank you. Excuse me. Let me slow down. Ms. Cowden, counselor of the 9th grade nation, has watched us grow over the past 4 years. Easily identifiable by her numerous college t-shirts, she has taken extra time to make sure we made it to this momentous occasion. Thank you, Ms. Cowden, Mrs. Concannon, and Ms. DiPietro for the dedication you have given us during our years here at Carrick High School.
Before we begin the distribution of diplomas, it is important to recognize members of the graduating class. Pittsburgh Carrick High School hosts several career and technical education programs. They are health careers, business administration, finance tech, information tech, welding, HVAC, and culinary arts. Students, please stand for recognition. Thank you. Please be seated. Students who are graduating with honors wear blue and gold cords, symbolizing their achievement of graduating with a 3.0 to 3.49 unweighted grade point average. Students, please stand for recognition. Thank you. Please be seated. We would also like to recognize the high honor roll students. These students have achieved an unweighted GPA of 3.50 or higher. They wear blue and gold sashes that symbolize this high honor. High honor students, please rise. Thank you. Please be seated. Dr. Rudiak will authorize the diplomas.
I am pleased to acknowledge the 2013 class of Pittsburgh Carrick High School and authorize the principal, Mr. Dennis Chakey, to grant diplomas to the members of this class.
Go ahead, Dan. This is very good. Real good. Good stop right there. Whoop, there went one. Come back up. Leanne Stretchenkoff. Hannah Tajudin. Danielle Erica Hall. That's it, Ron. Ronald Peter Brame, Jr. Jasmine Raquel Fields. Tristan Elizabeth Day. Rebecca Lynn Comer. Lindsay Taylor Brame. Nicholas Robert Rump. Monica Ann Atkins. Melanie Ann Tice. Chelsea Ray Helinsky. Anthony Edward Licata II. Nicole Renee Phillips. Amanda Renee Quartermain. Julianne Ringeisen. Elisa Williams. Zachary T. Schmidt. Jenna Ann Oleski. Corey Tyrone Anthony. Andrew Scott Belijack. Shaylin A. Bell. John Berksazy. Rachel Bame. Alyssa Valentine Bopp. Kayla Raquel Brazel. Kelsey L. Brooks. Hesna Ivana Brown. Kayla Lorraine Brown. Cole Burns. Aaliyah E. Byers. Jaleesa Marie Caldwell Hodges. Aaron J. Carney. Tesha Lee Clemens. Kanisha Roxanne Clifford. Shakisha Beverly Marie Clifford. Jody Lynn Kennard. Alexa S. Condi. Alicia S. Cooley. Brittany Couchot. Daniel Cruz. Darnell O. Davis. Davon Dawson. Madison Ray Deary. Stephen Justin DeLawrence. Paul M. Demmel. Robert Thomas Denk. Emily T. Dervin. Kayla Marie Dittler. Danielle Dominowski. Bonnie Dush. You want Boyd? James Boyd Edmonds, Jr. Kaylin N. Freeman.
Marcus Fields. Lisa Dalton. Paige Lynn Gazarowski. Haley Michelle Gertis. Mateo Faustino James. Devin K. Jackson. Elmisha Hudson. Kayla Shanique Hoyle. Kevin D. Horvath. Shamara Tennille Hopkins. Orlando Harvard. Zachary Tyler Hanlovich. Gregory Hamilton. Tiana Renee Hall. Matthew Paul Gronzowski. Christian Gronzowski.
Good job, Matt. Good job.
Jasmine Goodnight. Jamila L. Green. Robert M. Ginzer. Jerome D. Gilmore. Joey Lynn Johns. Genevieve Luella Johnson. Jaquea Johnson. Neasha Ashley Johnson. Shifon T. Johnson. Michael Joseph Kepler. William Jones. Timothy Keating. Johnny Lynn E. Ketter. Manish Kanal. Jasmine S. King. Brianna Marie Kitzinger. Eric Dion Clem. Montana A. Kramer. Ian Stone Krzyzanowski. Brittany R. Lewis. Sean M. Lindsay Jr. Jonathan Lucchino. Alan Russell Malloy. Jamar Taru Matthews. Kiana Moses. Crystal Marie McClintock. Allison McLucky. Mitchell Clayton Meadville. Maggie Mahalson. Shatea Renee Milligan. Evan Adam Malteris. Genesis Mondragon. Jasmine Moore.
Kimberly Nichols. Shade Kimberly Osterly. Taria Naomi Ormond. Daniel E. Ostermeyer. Alan G. Plute. Joanna M. Poston. Alyssa T.D. Pritchard. Josh Reed. Brianna R. Reeves. Haley E. Reebhoff Calhoun. Isabella Marie Ritter. Brandy Patrice Roach. Nashelle Harris Robinson. Alyssa Jane Rodabaugh. Samantha R. Rust. Matthew W. Sabin. Anastasia Louise Schneider. Alex Schusler. Dylan M. Cecilia. Aaliyah Jewel Dolores Sims. James F. Smith III. Stephanie R. Snyder. Anthony Sinceri. Kennedy Rashay Tate. Daquan Turner. Marquise Underwood. Lauren Diane Wade. Keelan Anthony Walls, Jr. Brandon Wallace. Sydney Christine Walsh. Taylor Paige Weaver. Katarina Weimer. Tashay R. Williams. Tiana A. Williams. Larry A. Wilson. Renee Wilson. Kevin James Zielinski. James Brown.
On behalf of the Pittsburgh Board of Education, I hereby declare the 2013 class of Pittsburgh Carrick High School to be graduated. Please move your tassels from the left to the right. If you haven't already, please move your tassels from the left to the right. Please join me in a round of applause for our graduates.
We're this route, and now we're going the wrong way. Okay, we're doing what we're doing.
Nice job. Got that done.
Congrats.